Donald Trump, the former U.S. president and renowned businessman, finds his name among the high-profile individuals listed in the Epstein files. This association has ignited widespread criticism and debate across the nation and beyond. As headlines flash and images of Trump and Epstein circulate, the public is left questioning the nature and depth of their relationship. The Epstein case, already infamous for its connections to the powerful and elite, takes on new dimensions with Trump's involvement. In this documentary, we delve into the facts, the files, and the controversy that continues to swirl around Trump's name. Let's begin by exploring the background of their association. In the 1990s and early 2000s, Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein moved within similar social circles. Archival records and photographs show them attending the same parties and events, sometimes even appearing together in public. Flight logs from this era occasionally list Trump's name, further fueling speculation about the extent of their acquaintance. While some interactions may have been casual or coincidental, the documentation of their social overlap has become a focal point for investigators and the media alike. Understanding this background is crucial to grasping why Trump's name in the Epstein files has drawn such intense scrutiny. Epstein files are a trove of documents, including flight records, testimonies, and various legal papers. Among the many names mentioned, Donald Trump stands out due to his public profile. These files, often heavily redacted, reveal the complex web of relationships Epstein maintained with influential figures. Courtroom imagery and highlighted names in the documents have become symbols of the ongoing quest for accountability. As journalists and the public sift through these records, the presence of Trump's name continues to spark questions and theories about what these connections truly mean. Critics have seized upon Trump's presence in the Epstein files, arguing that it raises serious questions about his connections and judgment. Given Epstein's criminal history, any association with him is viewed with suspicion. Protest footage and critical headlines flood social media, amplifying concerns and fueling public debate. For many, the issue is not just about Trump, but about the broader problem of how powerful individuals are often shielded from scrutiny. The criticism is relentless, and the controversy shows no signs of fading. In response to the growing controversy, Donald Trump has publicly distanced himself from Jeffrey Epstein. He claims that their relationship soured years ago, emphasizing that they had a falling out. Despite these statements, the continued presence of his name in the files keeps the controversy alive. Press conferences and interviews show Trump defending his position, while split-screen visuals contrast his claims with the documentary evidence. The debate over his true involvement remains unresolved, keeping the story in the public eye. For many observers, Trump's name in the Epstein files has become a symbol of how the elite are often entangled in scandals that erode public trust. Protest crowds gather, commentators debate on television and online platforms, and the public remains sharply divided. Some see the controversy as evidence of systemic issues within the corridors of power, while others view it as politically motivated. The debate is fierce, and the implications extend far beyond Trump himself, touching on broader questions of privilege and accountability. Epstein files have forced a reckoning with uncomfortable truths about power, privilege, and accountability in society. Donald Trump's association with Epstein, whether casual or significant, remains a point of criticism and controversy. As protests continue and courtroom battles unfold, the public is left to grapple with the implications of these revelations. The documentary closes with a montage of protests and courtroom imagery, underscoring the ongoing demand for transparency and justice. The story is far from over, and the questions raised will continue to shape public discourse. For his presidency, Donald Trump was a fixture in New York's elite social scene. He attended numerous high-profile events, often rubbing shoulders with celebrities, business magnates, and influential figures like Jeffrey Epstein. These interactions were frequently documented by the media, with photographs and reports highlighting the interconnected world of the wealthy. Understanding Trump's early social environment provides context for his later associations and the scrutiny they would attract. The glitz and glamour of these gatherings often mask the complex relationships developing behind the scenes. Jeffrey Epstein cultivated relationships with a wide array of powerful individuals, from politicians to celebrities. His network extended across continents, with lavish parties and exclusive gatherings serving as the backdrop for these connections. Trump's inclusion in this network, whether intentional or incidental, has become a focal point for investigators. The sheer scale of Epstein's influence raises questions about how such networks operate and the challenges of holding the powerful accountable. The files only scratch the surface of these complex relationships. Flight logs have become a key piece of evidence in the Epstein investigation. These records detail the movements of Epstein's private planes and list the names of passengers, including Donald Trump. While the presence of a name does not prove wrongdoing, it has fueled speculation and media coverage. The logs are meticulously analyzed by journalists and legal experts, seeking patterns and connections. For Trump, these entries have become a persistent source of controversy, adding another layer to the ongoing debate. Media has played a central role in shaping public perception of Trump's association with Epstein. Headlines, investigative reports, and televised debates have kept the story in the spotlight. Public opinion is influenced not only by the facts but also by how they are presented and interpreted. The relentless coverage ensures that the controversy remains a topic of conversation, with each new revelation reigniting interest and debate. The interplay between media narratives and public sentiment is a powerful force in this ongoing saga. Legal implications of Trump's mention in the Epstein files are complex. While there is no direct evidence of criminal wrongdoing, the association has prompted calls for further investigation. Legal experts debate the significance of the documents, and some advocate for greater transparency and accountability. Courtroom proceedings and legal filings are closely watched, as the public seeks answers and justice. The legal dimension adds another layer of complexity to an already intricate story. Over the years, Donald Trump's statements regarding Epstein have evolved. Initially, he acknowledged knowing Epstein and described him as a terrific guy. However, as Epstein's criminal activities came to light, Trump distanced himself, claiming they were no longer friends. These shifting narratives have been scrutinized by the media and the public, with many questioning the timing and sincerity of Trump's remarks. The evolution of his statements reflects the changing dynamics of the controversy. Social media platforms have amplified the controversy, with users sharing opinions, memes, and investigative threads. Hashtags related to Trump and Epstein trend regularly, reflecting the intensity of public interest. The rapid spread of information, both factual and speculative, shapes the narrative and influences how the story is perceived. Social media has become a battleground for competing viewpoints, with each new development sparking fresh waves of discussion and debate. Investigative journalists have played a crucial role in uncovering details about Trump's association with Epstein. Through persistent reporting, they have brought new evidence to light and held powerful figures accountable. Their work often involves sifting through thousands of pages of documents, interviewing sources, and piecing together complex timelines. The dedication of these journalists ensures that the story remains in the public eye and that important questions continue to be asked. Epstein files reveal patterns of association among the world's elite. Trump is just one of many high-profile names mentioned, highlighting the interconnectedness of powerful individuals. These patterns raise questions about how influence is wielded and protected. The files suggest that social and business networks often overlap, creating environments where accountability can be elusive. Understanding these patterns is key to grasping the broader implications of the controversy. Ongoing controversy has contributed to a growing sense of distrust in institutions and leaders. For many, the Epstein files symbolize the failure of systems designed to protect the vulnerable and hold the powerful accountable. Protests and public demonstrations reflect this erosion of trust, as citizens demand transparency and justice. The story of Trump and the Epstein files is not just about individuals, but about the broader crisis of confidence facing society today. Documents, flight logs, and testimonies form the backbone of the Epstein investigation. These records provide a factual basis for understanding the scope of Epstein's network and Trump's place within it. Meticulous documentation has enabled journalists, legal experts, and the public to piece together a clearer picture of events. However, the presence of redactions and missing information also highlights the challenges of uncovering the full truth. Controversy surrounding Trump and the Epstein files has brought the issue of accountability to the forefront. Public figures are under increasing pressure to explain their associations and actions. The demand for accountability extends beyond Trump, touching on broader questions about how society holds the powerful to account. This focus on accountability is a defining feature of the ongoing debate, shaping both public discourse and policy discussion. The association with Epstein has had a significant impact on Donald Trump's public image. While some supporters dismiss the controversy as politically motivated, others see it as a serious blemish on his record. The ongoing debate has influenced how Trump is perceived by both his critics and his base. The lasting effects on his reputation remain to be seen, but the controversy has undoubtedly left its mark. Trump is not the only high-profile individual mentioned in the Epstein files. Comparisons are often drawn with other politicians, celebrities, and business leaders whose names appear in the documents. These comparisons highlight the widespread nature of Epstein's network and the challenges of investigating such a vast web of connections. The focus on Trump, however, remains particularly intense due to his prominence and influence. Courtroom proceedings have been central to the unfolding story of Epstein's network and Trump's association. Legal battles over the release of documents, testimonies, and evidence have shaped the public's understanding of the case. The courts serve as both a stage for accountability and a battleground for competing narratives. The outcomes of these proceedings will have lasting implications for all involved. A major challenge in the Epstein investigation has been the redaction of key documents. While some information has been made public, much remains hidden from view. This lack of transparency fuels speculation and mistrust as the public demands to know the full story. The tension between privacy, legal constraints, and the need for openness is a recurring theme in the controversy. Trump-Epstein controversy is part of a much larger scandal involving numerous powerful figures. The files have exposed systemic issues within elite circles, prompting calls for reform and greater oversight. The broader scandal has implications for politics, business, and society as a whole. As more information comes to light, the scope of the controversy continues to expand. Revelations from the Epstein files have influenced public policy discussions, particularly around issues of accountability and transparency. Lawmakers and advocacy groups have called for new regulations to prevent similar abuses of power in the future. The controversy has become a catalyst for broader debates about how to ensure justice and protect the vulnerable. Policy changes may be slow, but the impact of the scandal is already being felt. At the heart of the Trump-Epstein controversy is a search for truth. Investigators, journalists, and the public are all seeking to understand what really happened and who should be held responsible. The process is complicated by conflicting accounts, missing information, and the sheer scale of the scandal. Despite these challenges, the pursuit of truth remains a driving force behind the ongoing investigation. Investigations into Epstein's network and Trump's association are ongoing. Law enforcement agencies continue to review evidence, interview witnesses, and pursue leads. The process is slow and often frustrating, but it reflects the complexity of the case. Each new development brings fresh attention to the controversy and keeps the story alive in the public consciousness. Whistleblowers have played a significant role in bringing information about Epstein's network to light. Their courage in coming forward has helped expose hidden connections and challenge powerful interests. The protection of whistleblowers is a critical issue, as their testimony can be vital to uncovering the truth. Their stories are a reminder of the importance of speaking out, even in the face of great risk. Trump-Epstein controversy offers important lessons for the future. It highlights the need for greater transparency, stronger oversight, and a commitment to accountability at all levels of society. The scandal has prompted reflection on how power is exercised and the safeguards needed to prevent abuse. As society moves forward, these lessons will shape ongoing efforts to build a more just and equitable world. As this documentary draws to a close, the story of Donald Trump and the Epstein files remains unresolved. The controversy continues to evolve, with new information and perspectives emerging over time. What is clear is that the issues raised go far beyond individual actions, touching on fundamental questions about power, privilege, and justice. The demand for answers and accountability will persist, shaping the public conversation for years to come.